intro video for study with me. So welcome back to another YouTube video. It is your girl Lynn. And there's absolutely no way without going through it. No way. I am sorry if my glasses are reflecting you, and we believe that Jesus Christ is the way. Okay, let me take off my glasses. So anyway, what's gonna happen right now, since I have already started studying and I've already written the previous subjects, today my main focus is on kinesiology, because there's a lot of things going on in that module. So I'm going to be studying that specific module, and the way I do my study routines, or how I plan my study routines, that the week before examinations or the week before exams start, I revise my content, and then when I revise my content, in the midst of revising my content, I'm doing active recall. So you're going to see me stop a lot in the videos to ask myself questions, to do some back and forth, you answer type of flashcard type of method. And I use the Pomodoro method, as you guys already know. So I do 30 minutes of focus hour and 5 minutes rest, or sometimes 25 minutes focus minute. Did I say focus hour? Sure. I feel like I'm speaking so fast. But anyway, so something of that similar sort. Sometimes I push a whole hour. If I get to an hour, I can push a whole hour if I want to. But then usually I like taking breaks in between. But since I have so much to content to go through, I'm probably going to do 45 minutes and 10-minute rest, because I think it's important to have longer rest time. What else did I want to say? Just making sure I'm mentioning everything. Oh yes, your study timetable. I have not been able to make one, so I'm basically just making one in my brain, and based off how long will I write the exam. So the kinesiology exam is on the 17th, so I've got 2 weeks to get through to that content, and then next week Friday I'm writing my first examination, which I have been studying for. With MBS as well, I have to revise. With MBS, basically it is a matter of me doing active recall, because it is a more it's not necessarily application, it's barely application, it's mostly content, because the human body doesn't change. So I'm just going to use Quizlet for that. What else? So a couple of tips is: make sure you drink your water, make sure you wake up on your time, you understand yourself, you understand your schedule. I think that's the most important part. Understand when you are most productive. I'm most productive before 4. So before 4 I push the most and I work the most before that time, because I know I've trained my brain to understand that before 4 o'clock all you do is work. After 4, it's difficult to get this brain to work, but it will work, but it won't work as effectively as it does in the morning. This is just me giving you tips. So I started reading Make It Stick. It is quite the interesting book. It is quite the interesting book. I'm actually learning about learning, which is so fun, because it's really consolidating the way, it's even confronting me on the way that I learn, or things that I usually do, because I highlight a lot. And for someone that I highlight a lot, but my highlighting system is not the same as because I used to think I just highlight, but I don't just highlight. I highlight because I used to think it's very effective to just highlight stuff. But now when I'm studying and going through my notes and just realizing, because I'm not reciting things, I'm actually looking at the highlight and trying to apply the highlights. And I think that's how I've been trying to learn in that specific order. Another way that's very important of how to study is ask yourself questions revision is so important. Use your past papers, very, very important. This is all to my metrics. My metrics to use your past papers should be your they should be your lifeline, because I know my exams, past papers really helped a lot, especially with the conceptual modules, with the modules where most of the content is content that doesn't change. Biology will never change, but obviously it's a matter of the only things that change is the research stuff, but the rest of it will always be in essence meaning something, and it takes time for it to change anyway, especially in the curriculum. So we can have things changing in the world, but the curriculum still remains the same. So with biology, things never change. It's most likely that your eye is always going to be your eye, your cornea is always going to be in your cornea, and it's always going to be the same. You get me? your brain is always going to look the way it looks, except brain development, but that's still going to remain the same way. It's going to differ with people, but it's still going to happen in the same sequence. So it's easier to learn sequence material and to teach yourself sequencing learning, so to learn things in a sequence. Like if you trying to understand the digestive system, like I used to think it was so weird at how they taught us, like, because even with my degree they break things down, and then when you get to a certain point you combine stuff like, it makes sense now that we did that last year, or we did this year, or we're doing this now, and then later we're gonna use it then. Like at first it sounds so stupid, and just like, why don't you just teach me everything I need to do now? And I hate how this chair moves. I've realized how often it moves in most of my videos, and it's so loud. Anyway, so yeah, as I was still saying, right, so do use those things to your advantage, like your sequence learning, your geography. Those are things that will never change. MEPWORK, we've been doing MEPWORK like the same thing, like your MEPWORK, I'm just like, it's the same thing every single time. So like practice, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video. It's so weird that I wanted to just do an introduction video, but I ended up giving you like a couple of study tips, and yeah, I hope they're helpful. Get an accountability partner, get a person who's going to help you out. Write down your to-do list. I have not written my to-do list for today because I wasn't sure how my day was going to go, but I've already attended class. I've written MBS, I've studied MBS. Now I'm going to study Kinesiology. I'm going to do like first 2 units of it, and then, well, the last 2 units, like basically the units where I started getting lost because I don't know how, but somewhere along the line of Kinesiology, them lost me as a student. Honestly, I would attend class and just be in class and catch some things and not catch everything. So I want to go back and watch those things again, and like, relive or relearn, basically, or whatever they want to call it, relearning, reading, revising, whatever. And then I'm gonna do my comprehension, understanding. So yeah, I'm gonna do, like, I do storytelling because that's just the easiest way for me to understand. So I tell a story and like try and teach it to myself, which is always so cool. So yeah, those are just a couple of tips I've already picked up for Make It Stick, but I'm still reading and I'm still enjoying the book. Very, very interesting book, would recommend for anyone. So I'm just gonna see you guys in the small tiny little clips that I have in this video of me studying, and hope you are enjoying yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to see more content like this and to see this beautiful face on your screen.
So I'm sure you've already seen me eat in like the previous day in my life video. If you haven't checked that out, please click in the link in the bio or just buy the cards there. So I started studying medical bioscience, which is my biology module. So I was just going through it because I was going to write like a test, so I just was revising basically and just consolidating information that I had already learned. And I basically used 3 different stuff, like my slides, my textbook, my atlas, because like there's a lot of like microorganisms that I have to see and stuff like that. So much light, but anyway, I just finished refreshing my brain because I'm about to write a test, so I write it before the exam. I mean, before my class, because that's gonna mean that my studying is gonna be focused on exams and not this test. So yeah, I'm just gonna write this test now, and then so I think I'm gonna put this specific clip on both videos. So if you're gonna see this clip on the day in my life and on study with me, it means I just got lazy to make 2 clips of the same thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna go straight into it and write my test, and then I'm gonna see you guys when all of that is done and when I go into class, which is not gonna be when you study with me. It's probably gonna be in the day in my life video. So yeah. So I wrote my test and I was now like ready to study kinesiology, which this was my focus. I was doing a lot of posture work and just gathering all my study equipment and my lecture slides and everything else that I needed specific to that module at that time. So it's important to always have your things laid out and just have everything with you. So I was just going through the class because I wanted to remember exactly what happened in the class. and I was getting very, very sleepy. If you watch the day in my life video, this is when, like, after this, I went and took a nap because I got very tired, which was like, because I did a 4-hour situation. Yeah. So as you can see, I always have like a timer just up there if I'm not using my laptop, and I'm always playing like Christian lo-fi in the background because it just calms me down, gives me some very nice coffee chilled vibes, which I really like. So I'm just gonna take this opportunity to like speak over your studies. If you're watching this video, I am speaking prosperity, I'm speaking knowledge, words of wisdom, that God is going to guide you through every single examination. He's going to give you the wisdom that you need to write that examination, to succeed in that examination. And there's this one scripture that I've been standing on throughout for like all my study stuff, which is Isaiah 40 verse 29. It says that he gives power to the faint, and to him who has no might he increases strength. So understand that it's not going to be by might, it's not going to be by power, but it's going to be by the Spirit of the living God that you're going to excel in your studies. And because you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, God is going to carry you through this entire season. Remember that in Philippians 4 verse 6, he says that we should worry about nothing and pray about everything. So before you start writing, pray. Before you start studying, pray. Invite God in every single session that you're going to engage yourself in. Amen. Okay, so I've done a full hour study session because I was doing like for kinesiology. As you can see, this is basically the layout of our examination. Posture, she's going to give us terms only. So based on terminology, my understanding is pictures, and it means that she's going to give us a practical economic assignment, like work, because it's an OSPE, so it's going to want us to apply our knowledge. As you can see, there's the first question. This is a 2015 paper, yeah. Oh, my voice. I don't have COVID, by the way, but yeah, so I'm just going to do question 1 and half a mark, but and then it just moves to question 2. Oh my god, this is just fascinating. It's going to be an interesting paper to write. Actually, I'm actually very I'm excited.